G'day, ZiggyD here again, and that was a fun butcher fight. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I enjoyed editing the footage for it and putting music to it and everything, and I think it turned out pretty well. I even managed to sync up the music pretty cool, so I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. So now we're finally into Act 2, probably my least favourite act overall, and it's got quite a good number of dangers, including the dreaded bees of death. Which we'll be trying to avoid to the best of our abilities. But as usual, before continuing on, going to be doing a little bit of crafting and checking the vendors. I've already pre-checked out what I'm going to be doing just to save some time, but the first thing I want to do here is craft our first rare here, the Journeyman Arming Cap. And pretty much after level 15, I think it is, you can start getting sockets. And we really want to start getting the sockets, so if we can craft one of these helmets with a socket and decent stats, that would be awesome. However, we're only crafting one, so our odds aren't so great. Okay, what do we have? Well, okay, we're big drop back in vitality, regen, magic find, experience, extra protection. That one's probably not really worth it. Oh well. Let's now, I'm not actually going to be buying one of these rings, but I just wanted to show you guys something if you want to play hardcore and don't mind using the auction house, is this ring here, 2 to 4 damage and monster kills grants 7 experience. You can buy this for, 2,400. I'm not going to be buying it because my other rings are pretty decent at the moment. I'm not really desperate for the extra experience. So you can buy this and sell it on the auction house for more than you buy it for. I've done the math on a fair few of them, and these ones usually sell for somewhere between 5 and 10,000 gold, so it's a pretty good way to make a bit of money on the arbitrage between the vendors in the auction house. And people are always leveling new characters in hardcore, so there's always that demand for it. This was briefly used in softcore as well, but as stuff never really leaves the economy in softcore, eventually the prices pretty much synced up between the vendors in the auction house. But this is still a viable way to make some extra gold in hardcore, and when I was playing my last character I actually made a couple 100,000 gold doing this, which was great to be able to buy some leveling gear and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Let's just check I'm on Monster Power 10, which I'm not, so I'm gonna, as per usual, I'm gonna reset back to Monster Power 10. Well, I think there's a little bit of it. I've changed back to Monster Power 10, I think there's a little bit of a bit of a sneaky exploit with the whole Monster Power setting thing. Because when I changed to Monster Power 10, the rings in the shops refreshed. And I don't think they normally refresh just from leaving and re-entering the game, so changing a Monster Power is probably a good way to reset these rings. And if you want to search for those, those integer damage bonus and plus experience bonus rings to sell in the auction house to get that arbitrage money, then just changing your Monster Power back and forth is probably an easy way to do that. There you go, fun tips just discovering where. So let's move on. Alright, now I think I'm actually going to do some testing and see how many of these bees I can absorb without dying. I'll kill off this other stuff here and try and see what happens if I hit some bees. It's a bit hard to do the testing with the pets there. I'll try and do it on another one. What do we get here? Nah, nothing too good for us. Oh, rock falls. Alright, there's a bee there. Oh, I don't really want to take too many risks just to test this. I like to... There we go, I think I just absorbed 3 bees and didn't take too much damage. I'm still stacking quite a bit of vitality, so that's pretty good there. However, I'm kind of nervous. I watched one of Kriparian's videos that he released today, and showing how he got someone that was playing with him killed when they disconnected and he didn't notice. And seeing that instantaneous disconnect death in hardcore always makes me nervous. I've never had a disconnect death in hardcore, but it's something that can definitely happen, and sort of something you just have to prepare yourself for if you're going to be playing hardcore. The servers seem to be pretty unstable lately as well, so it's definitely a risk. Just going to be using those choke points as much as possible to make all of this as safe as possible. And I'm pretty sure you'll be noticing that as a theme to my gameplay as the Witch Doctor. Gets a lot easier with these zombie dogs as well, and I should be getting like a gargantuan or something eventually as well, so should get even easier to do that. Guess it depends on whether my pets start dying to the Monster Power 10 mobs or not. We'll have to see what I can do with different skills and things like that. Still have a lot to learn with the Witch Doctor, but I've been really keen. Oh, grats again, Templar. Finally hit level 18. I've actually been really keen to play this. Trying to actually having to stop myself. Well, that was a bit of a trap. stop myself from playing without recording, reminding myself that I need to record if I want to play. So yeah, it's good. I'm just like the whole crafting thing and finding upgrades and stuff. And a slower pace of hardcore, I enjoy it for a change of pace from just farming in Inferno and softcore. It is a completely different game. This is a little bit nasty. Whoa, okay. Alright, thanks for the heal temple. Let's oh wow. Alright, things are getting real here. Oh, teleporters, okay. Potions on cooldown, this is not very good. Let's just watch out, these guys don't teleport on us. Got a life on hit, so I'll try and heal up with those splinters. Maybe, yeah, our crackback soldiers can help me out maybe. Whoa, okay. Potion's almost off cooldown. There's a globe there, let's duck in and get that. Oh, that was a little bit scary. I think I've got it under control now. Those guys do a lot of damage. I'm actually getting well wishes from one of the YouTube viewership in the corner there. LMK, hi LMK. You got to say hi, hi YouTube. I let it stay in the recording. I think I actually met LMK in Last Hope for Roja's stream when he hit Paragon level 100. I was in the stream chat watching him hit that pretty big milestone in his Diablo 3 career. Is pretty hardcore about the game, and he's got his own. Well, what has this guild been doing? I don't think I've seen this before. Roja's got his own YouTube channel where he does his own pretty top-notch Diablo 3 videos actually, so check that out. Last Hope for Roja. Maybe I'll put a link in the description if I remember. But yeah, I met LMK in the chat there. Roja kindly gave me some shout-outs, and he came over and checked out my channel and liked what he saw, I guess, so it's pretty cool to have people come over and just see my content and decide that it looks pretty good, so that's nice. This is quite nasty. What are these guys? Plagued? Okay. Plagued aren't too big an issue for me. I might actually, if I can keep these guys in this doorway a bit, probably shouldn't have too many problems here. Kinda want to resummon my dogs, but I just summoned them, so would be nice to have my dogs on this side of them, so they're keeping everything in the doorway. Maybe I can wiggle around and keep them there. Looks like they're trapping the rest of them in there. Really have to watch that big wind-up swing there on these guys, especially on elites. It just does a ton of damage. I don't know if it would be a one-hit kill for me, with my lots of vitality at the moment, but it's the kind of thing I don't really want to test. I don't mind testing a couple bees and a few other little attacks, but I don't really want to test that sort of thing. So these guys are just like, they don't even know what to do. Like, oh, huh? We can't get to him. Hey, level 19, nice. Hey, that's unlocked our 4th skill bar slot. Active skill category, fantastic. Wonder what we can put on there useful. Something else for summon zombies. I think that makes them drop health globes or something. Oh, we've got a gargantuan one. Well, I know what's going on the 4th skill slot then. And vampire bats, that could be interesting as well, if I give some sort of life return. So I'll check out my skills and report back with what I decide to use. Well, let's get somewhere safe before I do that. It's probably worth considering. Let's go stand on top of these dead bodies. This seems like a safe place to do our skills. Just on these cadavers and chopped up limbs. Alright, so despite Spirit Barrage being able to path through doorways and stuff, I've decided to not keep it on my bar always because I just wasn't using it that much. So I put these fire bats, vampire bats. If I'm standing behind my dogs and followers and things like that, then that could be pretty good. I don't know. I'll give it a try and see how it works. But I definitely put the gargantuan on because he seems like a good buddy to have around. Check him out. What a meaty dude. He's an attractive guy. I think he'll serve me well, I'm sure. Now you would think elite bees would be one of the worst things you could get, but I find that's actually a better elite to have roll because bees just naturally have such low health, and since elites are really heavily based on the base mob, having an elite pack with really low health makes them really not much trouble to deal with. So sure, they do more damage and everything, but if you can avoid the bees normally, then you can avoid the bees anyway, and they're not really that much more deadly being elites. So unless they, you know, they jail you and manage to hammer you with their bees or something, but that's just the sort of thing you have to be a bit cautious of. So this Firebat's rune is pretty fun as a sort of the flamethrower that heals. I don't know if the heal is too useful, because in the situations I'm going to be using it, it's really I'm not really using it for the heal, since I'd only be using it when I'm fairly safe anyway. Because having something that roots me in place while using it in order to heal probably isn't the best thing. You kind of want a heal that gets you out of trouble as well, or can be used safely without putting you in any more risk. So I still haven't figured out a good ability for that right click yet. Alright, so I've salvaged up all the stuff I've found on that run so far. I had about half an inventory of blues and a couple of rares and things, so I've got another roll at this Journeyman Arming Cap, which I do really want to try and roll for something good on this. This looks like it has potential. Strength, dexterity, the vitality is almost as good as the last helmet, so I think that probably makes it a better choice. I think this will be, a bit of extra strength and dexterity won't really go awry in terms of defensive, especially the way that dexterity scales. Your first 200 or so dexterity actually makes a pretty big difference on non-dexterity classes. Like, where's that dodge chance? 5.2%, 3.4, so that's an extra 2% dodge is a pretty big jump just for that much dexterity. So that's actually kind of worth it. You shouldn't intentionally go for it, but it's definitely not a bad thing to have on there. So I'll keep that helmet there until and it looks awesome as well. Let's just point that out. I'll give that until I can get a socketed one. I'm not finding gems or anything yet anyway, so I think you find that a little bit later in this. Start finding gems a little bit later in the act. Oh, we got a goblin. Treasure bandit even. Let's see if we can get this guy down. Oh, that slow walks on him. That's fantastic. Not many different types of CC work on the goblins, so it's good when you find ones that do. Having a slow work on them is pretty helpful. Oh, can we get him down? Come on, come on. Oh, you little jerk! Oh, I hate them. That sound. Whee! When they jump through the portal. Well, I think I'm going to be going with bad medicine. Let's make sure poison dart. So splinters does do poison damage, so that's pretty good to know. And my zombie dogs also inflict poison damage. So bad medicine decreases their enemy damage by 20% whenever they're inflicted with poison damage by me. That would also include my pet damage, I'm sure. So that sounds a lot like a Demon Hunter passive I've been using in my stun tank build, where grenades and turrets and things like that reduce their damage, and that's a real big help in being a tanky sort of player. So that 20% damage reduction can be pretty big, and even out spikiness and things like that. So it seems like a pretty good skill to have. I just need to make sure I'm coating things with my darts if they're dealing with damage, and my zombie dogs should do the rest of the damage with the rest of the poison effect with their rune. That makes them do poison damage. This is pretty good. Seems like a pretty good synergy between those two skills there. Now I'm at the Road to Alcarnus waypoint, and this is something I discovered in a previous playthrough, is that you can sort of do a little trick here. If you just leave and remake the game and then come back to this waypoint, every time you come back, Cain's Lost Satchel will appear somewhere from around here to in this area here, very close to the waypoint, and you can just grab that, and you'll actually be able to get all of Cain's different books by grabbing that. I don't know, it's maybe like 10 times, like 10 different books or something. And that's a bit of a boost of experience each time you do that. It's good if you like getting all the lore, but it's also pretty useful in hardcore for just, a little bit of extra safe experience. It's only a minor thing, but it's just a cute little exploit there. So this next fight should be interesting. Now this big guy's pretty nasty. I don't imagine he'd be too big a deal with pets, but if you can actually draw him out, I'll just show you this for educational purposes. I probably don't really need to utilize it, but just try and safely, there we go, we'll snare these guys and get around them here. Just try and pull him out and maneuver around him, and if you actually bring him up to this area here, I just need to make sure I don't, this is kind of dangerous in hardcore at the moment because of these guys here, but he can't actually get through that doorway there, so he's I remember people saying that he's one of the hardest, toughest, sort of like a little elite fight event things in the game. Just because he does so much damage and he'll one-shot melee characters, even stacking a lot of health and stuff. So whoa, this is kind of nasty. Okay, I need to stop using mana so I can use Spirit Walk. Alright, that's something I need to focus on, is balancing mana. So obviously that was a bad situation to get myself in, but in terms of fighting that guy, you can just pull him into that little corner there, and you'll be pretty safe. These guys are nasty, jeez. Alright, I've got plenty of mana, so let's use some of this. Grab one of these health globes. Well, at least I'm not having to deal with both of them at the same time. It probably would have been safer for me to just use my pets, but I think if you can run in here and kill these guys before they turn into these thralls, it'd be a bit safer. Need to resummon my guys. Dogs just off cooldown. That was kind of nasty. All in the name of education. There we go. Okay, so he's just there, and we can sort of just like, try and get us. He's getting mad. Man, he's angry. Check him out. He just butchered my gargantuan. I had to like check the name. Sorry guys. He's pretty angry. Let's just stir him up a little bit more. Hey buddy. So mad. Yeah, I don't know what LMK was saying. He was trying to talk to me. I think he's trying to get into the recording. He doesn't realize I've already allowed him into the recording. There's like a plane or something going overhead. I'm just gonna work down Shadowbone here. As you can see, Shadowbone has quite a fair bit of health in Monster Power 10. Oh, nice stun there, Templar. Doing your job. Let's see if we get any fat loot off this guy. Staff and a barbarian sword. Oh well, some more crafting materials. I think what's actually going to happen is after I do this Magda fight, I'm going to do a series of Magda runs, which is a pretty decent way to level in this part of the game here. You get a lot of experience and loot, considering the difficulty of the run once you've out-leveled it a bit. I've just gone with the safer option of Guardian on the Templar there. Some Journeyman chain boots could be good. A lot of extra armor, and we can potentially roll some... oh wow, 33 dex. If only that wasn't dexterity. Let's that gives me hope that we can roll a good... there we go, 22 vitality. Extra pickup radius is good. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not too fast on move speed at the moment, so especially since most of the time I'm standing still fighting anyway. So I think that's a pretty solid upgrade. Awesome. Alright, now I know this is probably going to be a bit of a longer episode. I'm sorry about that. I want to try and keep these episodes below like the 15-minute mark, but I get the feeling this one's going to be a bit longer. But I really want to slap Magda down for what she did to Cain before before doing Magda runs at the start of the next episode. So let's do this now. Now there is an exploit you can use on Magda that involves running around one of those little square cement sections, or whatever they are, stone sections, stone block things, and it stops her from summoning her ads when she shields, but it kind of makes the fight trivial, and that's kind of at the limit of what I consider to be appropriate use of game mechanics. That seems to me more on the exploit, not intended game design side of things. I don't, as I was suggested by my word usage, I don't mind using things that are clever use of game mechanics, but I eventually draw the line at certain things, and I consider that one to be just detrimental to my gaming experience. So I'll just kill her normal. She's not overly hard anyway. I do need to watch out for those bugs though. They can be pretty nasty. I wasn't paying attention getting hit for those. Seems like they take a bit less than a quarter of my health in one tick, so that's really not too bad. Let's just snare these ads here. They do take my pets down pretty quick, but not too bad. There we go, so we'll work those guys down. Kinda hard to get beyond her and hit these guys. She's nowhere near as bad as Uber Magda. I'm glad she doesn't spawn Arcane Sentries in normal mode. Otherwise this fight would be much more difficult. So let's just avoid her little bugs there as much as possible. Take out this last guy. And we'll start working her down again now. It seems like those bugs actually seem to be working pretty... okay, what am I trying to say? The bugs seem to be being absorbed pretty well by the pets. Although they don't technically get absorbed, they tend to turn around after they hit something, so that's pretty good if they're hitting one of our pets and turning around. If I just keep my distance a little bit and watch out for that guy's big swing. Yeah, so I will be doing a few Magda runs at the start of the next episode, but just because my DPS is kind of low at the moment, it's getting pretty sluggish in here. So if I can get a few more upgrades, oh, that was pretty bad. If I can get a few more upgrades, things should be a bit more smoothly. So maybe a couple of Magda runs to get some more, just more gear to craft with and stuff. Have a big crafting session at the start of the next episode or something like that. I'll record in case I die, but I won't subject you to repeated Magda runs. It's not really, that sort of grinding isn't something that really makes for an interesting video. So, but basically, I just start back at that Road to Arcanus waypoint. I grab the little book there if I still haven't got them all, and clear out those 2 sections and then clear out Magda. It's a pretty quick run overall. And we've got our 2 rares. Hopefully we get something interesting. Let's go. Oh, we've got our first gem actually. I was like just ignoring it because I don't pick up gems normally, but I do actually want to start picking up since I'm going to be crafting my own gems. So that's good. Now we just need to get a socket. If we get a socketed helmet, this will give us some extra life, which would be really helpful, especially for those boss fights. I'll probably put a ruby in for normal leveling and such, but yeah, as for boss fights, having that extra health can be a lifesaver. So, oh, let's check out our red dagger. Cool, that's the same level as the dagger we have currently, so this could be an upgrade. Let's check it out. Oh, a socket, yes. That's awesome. Now, this one's pretty useless in terms of life on hit. We'll put it in there for now. But what we really want is to find a ruby. Even a crappy ruby will add tons of damage in the lower levels. So I'm pretty glad I found a socketed weapon actually. That's awesome. A bit of life on hit, certainly not going to hurt now. So let's see what this belt is like as well. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a solid upgrade, even though it's a lesser armor belt there. Sounds pretty nice stats on that thing. Alright, and I'll finish up my crafting, and I'll see you guys next time.